Yo, what's going on, man? Today is June the 27th, 2024. Welcome in to the ChrisBeCappinn NBA Show. We are live on Twitter, also live on YouTube, as we always are. We got a nice little four-game WNBA slate for today, so I'm excited to break it down. Hopefully, we can find some winners. These lines came out a while ago, so if you like the favorites, you probably missed the best of the line. But if you like some of the dogs, you definitely can wait and get some of the later lines as well. So we're going to jump into it and talk about all of it. Before we do, we'll get to a quick recap, and then we'll go through the comment section real quick, and we'll get into the four games that we got on the slate for the W today. So Commissioner's Cup championship game, we bet Minnesota +6. We also took New York team total under 84.5. So one winner, one loser. The Minnesota +6 was a smaller play. It was a 0.75 unit play versus the Lynx team. The Liberty team total under was 84.5, and that was a bigger play for me. They just shot the 3-point ball really, really well. You expected some regression after when the second half started, and it did come. New York defense just never showed up, though. I thought it was going to be more of a defensive type game, so I like the under a little bit more than the over. But we see the Lynx actually go out and get up. I think it was almost 90 points. So they went, a little over 90 points. Just didn't expect New York's defense to look that bad. Didn't expect Minnesota to be able to shoot that well from the 3-point line either. So, it didn't work out the way I wanted it to. But overall, we didn't, lose a lot. It just sucks that we did lose because I love Minnesota. So if you played the +5, +5.5, +6, you definitely, won. But if you jumped on that team total that I talked about, it was a losing bet. So numbers on the left-hand side are updated. We are up a little over 9 units in the WNBA. 39, 25, and 2 is the record right now. Just a quick update. All right, so let's get into a couple of the comments, and then we'll start on the 4-game slate for today. Rob says, good morning, Chris and community. Let's cash some tickets today. Right there with you. Helm says, anyone else smell the chalk today? Oh, it's a chalky day, Helms, which is why I haven't made a play yet, man. I'm definitely with you there. What's up, Maurice? He says, good morning. Great day to make some money. Always a good day to make some money. What's up to my guy, Couple Joe? Naked Organ says, good morning. Odin. Let's see. Tori says, yes, sir. You were on spot with Minnesota +5. Good morning, Sarah. Right back at you. Sarah says, good morning. What up to my guy, Mark? Helm says, the Lynx are a certified wagon. Also talks about the early camp day game we got. Minnesota will be involved in that game in Dallas today. We'll get into that in just a second. T-Wiz says, good morning, Chris. Your WNBA been cashing with your I guess good information, I think is what he means. I'm glad to hear that. Mike says he's on the wings +10.5. Pray for him. We're gonna talk about that. Taylor comes right back at him and says, Lynx trifecta today. What's up, Sox Nation? Says, thanks for the cash, Chris. And Chris we trust. Mike says, Mike Smith, I look at wings first half, not full game. Yeah, we're gonna talk about it, ways to kind of make some money in that game. What up, Prolific? He says, good morning, Chris. Bless us with your thankful insight. Appreciate that, Prolific. Hopefully I can give you guys some ways to get paid today. What's up to my guy, Kevin? He says, let's get some money. Chris be working. She says, morning, everyone. Let's kick the crap out of the books. Definitely with that. What up, Bitsy? Midnight Toker. Eric in here as well. Let's see. Bridget should have won MVP, him said. Her and the fee should call you. It really didn't matter, I don't think. He says, why wouldn't you sprinkle on the money line? I don't know. I guess in retrospect, I probably should have sprinkled on the money line. The Liberty, just a really good team, though. I just wanted to take the points. Yeah, we'll stop it there. What up, Justin? My guy, always in here racking with me. He says he's late. He said, I know I'm late if you're on time. I was actually a couple minutes late, but it's all good. What's up, Bruce? He says, good morning, my guy. Appreciate you. Not too many cappers that dedicate to WNBA. I love the WNBA. I love this stuff. What up, 3-time? And Jameer says, yo, let's get this money. Rabbit says, you smoking crack, taking dollars +10. We're gonna jump into it. Let's do just that, man. I think that, let me just double check and make sure the lines are where they are. But first game up, we do got the Lynx. They are Line's actually coming back down now. It was at 10 last night when I made the graphics, or early this morning. It was at 10. It's coming back down to 9.5. The total is also looks like it's moving up just a tad bit. Open 162, up to 163 on some books, 162.5. So not too much movement there. This is a 1 o'clock start game. That's the first thing we got to start with. This is the camp day game. Somebody put it in the chat already. It's the camp day game for the Dallas Wings. Just look at if you look at this game from afar, there's no way possible you want anything to do with the Dallas Wings. Let's jump into the breakdown. So let's just start with the Dallas Wings. This is the team that's at home. They do have a major rest advantage here. You guys can see that. It's 3 days rest. It's only compared to 1 for the Lynx. The Lynx won the Commissioner's Cup, and they got to get right back after it. Only 1 day to celebrate, and to travel from New York to Dallas as well. So the Wings, first game back home after a 4-game road trip. This team has quickly become the worst team in the WNBA. Like, the Dallas Wings are really, really bad at basketball all of a sudden. And I didn't think that it was Maddie. I mean, for people who've been watching the games, I didn't think Maddie Seeger's, impact was going to mean that much. They just lost back-to-back games against the Washington Mystics of all teams. And before that, they lost to the Chicago Sky. We were on the right side in that game. And 3-13 straight up, 6-10 against the number at home. They've only covered 1 of their 6 games, and they've only won 1 of their 6 games. And you do get a Minnesota Lynx team that's been the best team in the WNBA over the last, handful of, honestly, majority of the season. But last 5 games, you guys can see the numbers there. Offensive rating number 6, defensive rating number 1, net rating number 1 as well. They're winning by average of 11 points, and the Dallas Wings are losing the last 5 games by average of 15 points, 89-74 are over the last 5 games. You can see that their offense, defense, and net rating is the worst. They're also worse than they're scoring the fewest amount of points and giving up the most points too. So I mean, they're worse than in pretty much every category. And it's really just been the one thing that they can hold their hat on, in my opinion, is their offensive rebounding. We know that this is the team that has Kalani Brown, Tierra McCowan, Natasha Howard is back now. And they've been a pretty good rebounding team. Recently, they can't even do that. They can't even get offensive rebounds. And if there is a weakness for the Minnesota Lynx, that's what it is. Your ability to offensive rebound the basketball. The Lynx are really great at a lot of things. One thing that they struggle with is being able to get offensive and defensive rebounds. But like I said, we see the Dallas Wings not be able to even capitalize in that category. So as much as I wanted to get there with the Lynx, because I mean, like everybody said, the Wings do struggle. I'm just not into taking teams when they're coming off a big championship game like that. I think this could, if we've ever seen a letdown spot in the WNBA, it would be this one, in my opinion. It seems really, really easy to back the Lynx minus the 10, minus the 9.5. And they are 9.5, 10 points better than the Wings. I'll give you guys that. I think that a couple of different things, man. The Lynx are a team that I bet on their team total to go over a couple times, and they went under. The Wings defense is really, really struggling. They can't really guard anybody. So my first inkling was take the over. I think it was, like I said, 161.5, 162. And then I'm thinking about it a little bit more, and I'm like, I don't know if the Lynx have a letdown, do we expect it to be an offensive letdown or a defensive letdown? The Wings really haven't been able to score the basketball. They still gonna be without Maddie Seegers. Jayla Brown is still not gonna be there either. You get Natasha Howard back, but will they be able to score the basketball? Jayla Brown's also still gonna be out. No side 2, of course. I struggle with the Wings being able to score the basketball. So I looked over, but I don't know if the Wings gonna be able to, score to keep up with the Lynx. Also know if the Lynx offense is gonna be there. Like, maybe it's just, they partied a little too hard. And I did see them in the back popping bottles. I don't know if people saw that or not. They were definitely popping bottles. Pretty sure they took yesterday off too, especially with the Wings, who's lost back-to-back to the Mystics, which you really need to practice for. So I just kind of, it sucks to say because the Lynx have been so good. 5-2 straight up, 6-1 against the spread on the road. I get people saying that they're gonna take the later 10 on the road, but I'm not doing it. Maybe I'll play something live. This is not a game that I'm super interested in betting because I definitely don't want to take the Wings, but I don't want to take the Lynx after such a big in-season tournament or Commissioner's Cup game either. So I kind of stayed off this one. I couldn't get there with the total either. I guess I would look a little bit more towards the over than the under. I know the Lynx can come out here and fill it up. I just saw the Washington Mystics go over their team total, and both games went over in DC. I don't think the Wings coming back home is going to improve their defense at all, just because they're back home. And we've seen the Lynx be able to score the basketball. So I guess I would look a little bit more towards the over than the under, but it's not a game that I'm interested in betting, if I'm being honest with you guys. However you decide to bet it, I thought about this one long and hard. However you decide to bet it, I hope that you cash it. I'm just here to talk my thoughts out with you guys. Like I said, it looks real easy to take the Lynx. And if you did, I hope you cash. I'm not on the opposite side. Don't think I'm going to be betting it. Let's see what you guys saying about this one. Justin says, guess I'm getting high off my own supply. I'm on the Wings +6 first half and the +10 full game. And I think that's the way I would look, man. Like I said, it's just a bad spot for the Lynx. It's a bad spot. And if you don't, spot bet, you probably don't know what I'm talking about. But you don't really want to take teams after they're coming off a miraculous, win. The Lynx were also down 10 to the Liberty in that last game as well. It was 47-37, I think, at one point, or 57-47 or something like that. And they came all the way back. So major rest disadvantage as well. Ty says, this might be a reach, but I think the Lynx the best team in the W. I'm laying the 10, Chris. Best of luck to you, man. Best of luck. The Lynx are definitely, I wouldn't say the best team in the W. I would say that maybe currently they're the best team in the W. They are really, really good. But they could be peaking too high, a little too early. We see teams start off really, really hot, and then they kind of, they die down. Other teams make adjustments. Injuries come into play, whatever the case might be. But yeah, this Lynx team is really, really good. I can't disagree with you there. Manny says, nah, Dallas is trash. Gonna fade them all season. Okay. Cuppa Joe says, think I like Lynx first quarter money line and the first half spread together at +104. Let me talk you off. Dosa thinks he likes the Lynx -10. Sincerely says if the Lynx is definitely winning by 10. I don't know exactly what that means, sincerely. Lane says, Chris in chat, good morning. Helm says he likes the under. Jamie also says under 163. He says Lynx winning this one. Yeah, I don't think that they're going to lose. I just don't think that they're going to win by, I don't know if they're going to win by 10 is the point that I'm getting at. I don't think that they're in jeopardy of losing the game, though. Not in my opinion. Justin says Nafisha Collier under 9.5 rebounds is in his pocket. What up, Jay Muse? Helm says always under for the camp day games. Okay. The defense and offense, they can't score either. Yeah, they have been struggling to score. I talked about them only scoring about 74 points. Bissy says he's fading Tierra McCowan over 10.5 and 7.5 rebounds again here. So taking the under. What up, all praise picks? Cecilia says Lynx winning and covering is what he meant. Okay. Helm says travel, midday, middle of the week game versus the worst team in the league after winning 500K. Under. So he don't like them to be able to score. Jamie says he likes the Wings team total specifically to go under 76.5 on FanDuel. Says I think the Lynx defense will travel with them, but the offense won't. And it could be that. Yeah, it could definitely be that. Let's see real quick before we move on to the next game. This makes me think of something. Let's see how well Dallas. Well, you know what? I don't even got to look at it. I know Dallas not defending the 3-point line because that's where Washington was eating them up at. So above the break 3, Lynx are making the 6th most, attempting the 5th most, and shooting it at the 4th best percentage. They're shooting about 37% from the 3-point from above the break 3. Last 5 games defensively for the Wings, they are holding teams to the 6th fewest attempts, holding teams to the 6th fewest makes, 3rd fewest attempts, but they are allowing teams to shoot the 2nd highest percentage, shooting 39%. So yeah, maybe a live bet. I don't feel comfortable with it though. But don't, like I said, don't let me talk you off. Y'all got bets? Fire away. Let them joints go. Let's see. Yeah, that's a fact. Yeah, Tierra McCollum did. I mean, Caleb McBride did have a bad game in that last one. Javon says this game is going to be a close one because the Lynx is coming off a fresh Commissioner's Cup. Hasn't gotten time to rest. I'll wait for the -10 spread to come down, placing my money on the Lynx money line. Placing my money on the Lynx. Okay. Kappa Trap says last meeting with the Wings kept it close for 3/4 on the Lynx home court. Yeah, that's a fact. They did have Maddie Segrist in that game too, though. And for people who don't know, she's the second leading scorer on the team. With Natasha Howard being out, and then they don't have her. So yeah, like I said, I don't want to put my money on the Wings though. Not after losing back to back to the Mystics. Like Michael, right? I'm right here with Michael. He says stay away, and that's why I am too. Just going through the comments. Bruce says Lynx team total over 86.5 -115. They could definitely get there, or they could win 85-71. Like I have no idea, and I won't touch it. I think I'll stay on the sideline, maybe live, but I won't touch it. Mitchell says game one is a pass for me, or first quarter team total over. Lynx mentally, will they be there? I don't think so. That's just my opinion though. Mandy says it's between the Lynx and the Liberty. They're the two best teams, hand down. Discount TV says I'm seeing -9 on DraftKings. I'm thinking about it. Hey, pull the trigger if you're ready for it, man. Tonio, right here with you. He says situations and letdown spots matter. A lot of people don't understand this, but they absolutely matter. Absolutely matter. And then, team doesn't come through and they say they sold them. Not really. You got to look at the situational spots. I've been talking about this for a while now. All right. I think we did a pretty good job on this game. All praise picks. Let me get to what he said real quick. He says, "What's up, fam? I just started my sports betting YouTube channel and went on a 17-8-1 run on MLB picks. 9 and 12 on WNBA since Juneteenth." He says, could have done it without you, Chris. In-depth analysis. Super chat is definitely on the way, up over 20 units in 7 days. More MLB and WNBA picks on the way. Tap in and let's win. Yeah, let's do that. Let's do that for sure. All right, let's keep it pushing. Let's get on to the next game that we have. And it's 4 games, but it's difficult 4 games in my opinion. All right, let's keep going. Next game up, we have the. Oh snap! Hold on here. What did I do? Oh, I didn't. Let's go. Let me get the graphics ready, because they were ready, but then they weren't ready. So let me get the graphics ready real quick. We got more than one game today, right? All right, let's go. All right, we got them ready. All right, so next game up, we got the Connecticut Sun and the Washington Mystics. Game will be played in DC today. This is a 7:00 start time game, and the other game, both of the other games start, regular time. All 3 of the other games start regular time today. So Connecticut laying 10. I see it up to 10.5 on some books. Total come down from 156.5 down to 153. So let's get into this one. Situationally for the Connecticut Sun, this is the last game of a 3-game road trip. They're coming off back-to-back losses, of course, to the Las Vegas Aces and the Seattle Storm. And then for the Mystics, this team has been red hot. 3 days rest, back-to-back home wins against the Dallas Wings, of course. And I want to say they've won 4 of their last 5 games as well, even though they've been shorthanded without Shakira Austin and Brittany Sykes, who it looks like Brittany Sykes is going to continue to be out throughout the Olympic break, is what I read yesterday. And they also had to do a hardship signing as well, because Carly Samuelson fractured her hand. She won't be there. So, this team is, they're getting thinner and thinner. Aaliyah Edwards did go through, she did fully go through practice the other day. They played well even without her, in those games against Dallas. And then on the opposite side, I think Mariah Jefferson is the only person that's on the Connecticut Sun injury report. I don't think she really moves the needle too much, but she definitely helps and adds a little bit more depth at the guard position for the Connecticut Sun. So You look at the seasonal numbers. The Connecticut Sun have been really, really good. If they're not playing against the elite teams, they're 13-3 on the season. The 3 losses, of course, came against the New York Liberty, then the Aces, then the Storm. If they're not playing those 3 teams, they've done really, really well. And what it's been, and as you can see in their last 5 games, so on the full season, the Connecticut Sun offense ranks number 4. However, in their last 5 games, they played against some pretty good defensive teams. Their offense has dropped all the way down to 9th overall. So they really, really struggled defensively, offensively to score the basketball. Defense, they're still really good. Number 2, net rating number 6 over the last 5 games. And then you got the Washington Mystics. This team is 4-13 on the season. Like I said, back-to-back wins. They have been covering the number 11-6. It's a real scrappy team with a lot of vets on the team. They are just 3-5 straight up at the crib, but 5-3 against the number. And you can see last 5 games, they've been moving the ball around, getting everybody involved. 4th in offensive rating, 6th in defensive rating, and they're actually number 2 in net rating. I had to do a double take when I was writing that down last night. But this team has, been playing really, really well. You hate that they lose Carly Samuelson if you wanted to take them as a dog in this spot. Well, I know I did. Connecticut, like I said, they beat up on the lesser dens, the weaker competition, but I don't know if I'm really interested in laying 10.5 points with them on the road, man. Washington has been, like I said, been a dog. This team is 3-1 against the spread this season when they're double-digit dogs. And Connecticut do this thing where, their offense, specifically their second unit, can really struggle to score the basketball. So, 10 just feels like too much. Will they be, frustrated and upset and want to, get some of that anger out after losing 2 games to the Storm and the Aces? I think so. But I still don't know if I want to lay double digits with them on the road here. Understanding that the Mystics' last couple games have been against, the lesser den as well. They've also, like I said, beat the Wings 2 times in a row. So it's not a spot that I want to go too heavy on. If I wanted the Connecticut Sun, you definitely wanted to get the 8.5. I don't like it as much at 10.5. And then as far as the total, 156.5 down to 153. I kind of feel like this is a game that could eke over the total. I think the Mystics team total is like 70.5. You can see last 5 games, they're number 4 in offensive rating. Connecticut Sun, you just need them to play with a little bit of pace because they are the slowest paced team in the WNBA. But 153 is the number that, I'm never really looking towards the under on, just because I feel like, teams can squeak over this number. And Connecticut's offense should look a little bit better against the Washington Mystics defense. This is not the Storm defense. This is not the Las Vegas Aces defense that's been looking a little bit better recently. So I would look over, and I would only look towards the Washington Mystics if I had to play this one. Let's go to the chat real quick and see what you guys are thinking about it. Let's see. Helm says Sun minus the 9 is what he likes. All praise picks, $50. Oh no, my guy, appreciate that. He says couldn't have done it without the WNBA picks. Your in-depth analysis up over 20 units in 7 days in the MLB and WNBA. With more on the way. Tap in. All praise picks on YouTube. Appreciate that. All praise picks. I gotta write your YouTube information down. I'll definitely come over there, check you out, give you some support as well. Helms, this is what I was saying. Carly Samuelson being out for the Mystics definitely makes me look more towards the under, even though I don't want to play it at 153. And it definitely makes me look more towards, being a little hesitant towards taking the points with the Mystics, just because the Sun, we know that they can lock up defensively. Like, this is what they do. They play super slow. And this is another reason why I haven't bet the game. Carly Samuelson is somebody who stretches the floor, keeps the defense honest. And, without one more shooter, it just feels like it's going to be really, really difficult for the Mystics to manufacture some points in this game. So, yeah, pretty sure they put Dejanay Carrington on Ariel Atkins. So, yeah, it's, man, Dolson going to have her hands full with Alyssa Thomas. It's going to be tough today. Let's see what you guys are saying about this one. Connecticut wins by 12 plus here, Antonio says. Blunt says under or nothing. Robert going back says, what do you think about Tierra McCowan rebounds under? Yeah, I'm only looking towards her rebounds under. I wouldn't play Tierra McCowan rebounds to go over. I don't know what the line is, but yeah, just my general consensus. Sincerely says Mystics cover. They are better than they seem. I agree with that. Mitchell says, Sun first half and full game. Sun should come out mad from the Commissioner's Cup loss. Sun didn't play in the Commissioner Cup, though, Mitchell. Those who likes the Mystics plus 10 here, I'm in agreement with that. Mystics are only good for one half. After that, they flop. Rabbit says, so recently they've been a little bit better for the full game. I think they are 4-3 in the first half against the number. And they fight hard early, so maybe even a look towards them in the first half. I just didn't play the first half. Let's see what else you guys are saying here. RT says Suns beat up on the bad teams, just take the under. They do beat up on the bad teams, but the Mystics team total, I was looking a little bit deeper into this. When I was looking into it, I'm not super interested in betting anybody team total to go under 71.5. That's a super low number. Now, Connecticut has held some teams under 71.5, but we were on Connecticut in one of the games, I think it was, and their second unit just got smoked. So even with them being up, they still end up letting the team go over the team total. 71.5 is a super low number. So I agree with your take. I just think that the books have the line set pretty close to not just make me say, oh yeah, I'll just take the Mystic team total under because the Sun defense is going to be great. I'm not thinking it that way. Mitchell, this spread did open at 8.5, and like I said, if you're getting this one now, you're getting it late for sure. Jamie, I'm right here with you. He says this game is a live bet for me. Helm says Sun got exposed. 2 games in a row versus top teams. They're going to take it all out on Washington. Maybe even a look towards them in the first half if you're thinking that way. Ball Talk says Mariah Jefferson being out hurts. Lisa Thomas on day to day. I did see she's gonna play. I think she's listed as probable, but I did see that she was listed as probable. He says them girls getting tired. Let's not forget how competitive the dub has been. Yeah, it's definitely been competitive for sure. What else? Atkins gonna take 30 shots. Helm say she definitely could. I mean, who else gonna be out there shooting the basketball, man? They're getting so thin now. You hate to see that for the Mystics. I'm not sure who they're gonna sign, but they got to make a hardship signing as well. Porter Betts is top of the AM, Chris. I'm new to the channel, but it's the Mystics. They're not winning. Yeah, you don't need them to win. I don't know if you can see right here or not. You don't need them to win. You need them to, right here in the season records, you need them to cover. They're 4-13. They haven't been winning. You're right. But they are 11-6 against the number. So, yeah, we're not talking about winning. We're talking about covering. Bruce likes Ariel Atkins over 14.5 points here. Kappa Trap says this should be a good test for the Mystics. I think they're more hungry, plus 10 for now. And I agree with that as well. Bruce says WNBA player props are easier. Yeah, after the lines have moved, I agree. And we're going to touch on the player prop in just a second. Let's keep pushing. Let's get over to the Aces game. I actually got a couple player props I like in this one. I haven't bet either of them yet, but we'll talk about them. So we got the Aces in the Chicago Sky. This line is on the move. We got the Aces up to so the 11 is accurate. The total has moved. A 1.5 is up to 172 on all sports books right now. 171.5 out there as well. It opened at 167, so about 5 points coming on the over, which is normal for Las Vegas Aces games. They typically go up and over the total. And the Chicago Sky, I mean, that's a pretty high total for the Chicago Sky, but let's jump into it. This line also moved. Aces were laying 8 on the road. I was just late to the party, so I didn't get in on this one either. So for the Aces, super well rested. This is 5 days rest. They have not played since they beat the Connecticut Sun last week. Back-to-back home wins, of course, against the Connecticut Sun and against the Seattle Storm. So since Chelsea Gray's come back, they've looked really, really good. Everybody kind of filling in their role, scoring the basketball at a really high clip, and the defense has actually been really good as well. Even though you guys can see last 5, they only rated 11th defensively. They've been a little bit better than what the number indicates. So real quick, let me just make sure I got that right. Yeah, that's right. 311 and 8. So offensive rating 3rd, defensive rating 11th, net rating 8th. That does kind of look like an over in itself. On the opposite side, you got Chicago Sky, 3 days rest, 3rd straight home game for them. They're coming off back-to-back home wins. Of course, they came back. They were down 15 points against the Indiana Fever, came all the way back and won that game. They also beat the Dallas Wings. We were on the right side in that one. So still at home, 6-9 straight up and against the number on the season, 3-5 at the crib straight up, 3-5 against the spread straight up at home as well. Offensively, number 8 rated last 5 games. Defensively, number 5, and the net rating they're number 8, number 9. So, this is the first meeting of the season between these two teams. I think that's worth noting. If we talking about styles making fights, this should be a game where I'm kind of kicking myself. The Aces should smoke the Sky today. I really do believe that. The Aces are, definitely needing wins. You can see that they're only 8-6 straight up on the season. They haven't really been covering numbers, but like I said, since Chelsea Gray came back, kind of putting everybody back into their, where they need to be on the offensive and defensive ends of the floor, it's really, really helped the Aces. And the deeper I looked into the game, I didn't look into the game until the line had already moved from 8. I wish I would have got the 8 because I do like the Aces in this spot. Do they win by double digits? They could potentially. Could it be a backdoor cover? That could also happen. And that's one of the things that's kind of keeping me off of this one. So when I look a little bit deeper into it, and I think about the way that the Aces like to score the basketball, it's typically, one second. So when I think about the ways that the Aces like to score the basketball, it's from the 3-point line, right? We know that this team is number 6. Well, they take a lot of mid-range shots. They take a lot of paint shots. A lot of that is A'ja Wilson. You do get a Chicago defense that's number 1 against opponent paint attempts. But I just think I think Ace is going to be able to score the basketball in this one. I think that their 3-point shooting will be really, really good. Chicago can struggle. We saw what Indiana was able to do against them in the last game. But I really think about this game where I think this is a big step-up game for the Aces defensively. I know that they play with a lot of pace, but I struggle with seeing how Chicago is going to score the basketball. Angel Reese went off in that last game. I think she had like 25 points and like 15 rebounds or something, like 18 rebounds, something like that in the last game. This is not a team. The Las Vegas Aces isn't a team that's going to let you beat them from the inside. A'ja Wilson, Kia Stokes, like they got some rim defenders. They actually number 1 in opponent restricted area makes and opponent restricted area attempts. They just don't let you shoot the ball from down there. And to put things in perspective, that's where the Chicago Sky like to score the basketball from. They're 2nd in restricted area makes, 2nd in restricted area attempts. They shoot in restricted areas 5 feet within the rim, within 5 feet of the rim. So they shoot 17, they make 17 shots and they attempt 27 shots at the rim. The Aces allow the opponents to shoot 9 times and to make 6 of them. So, I mean, this is a really, really good defense, specifically, at the rim. And I just think that the Chicago Sky gonna struggle from to be able to score the basketball, in my opinion, because of that. Not a good rebounding team, even though they got Cardoso and they got Angel Reese. Angel Reese makes them look a lot better as a rebounding team than they have been, because they, like I said, they've been struggling to rebound the basketball. Actually allowing the most offensive rebounds. I think it's the most. Yeah, I think it's the most offensive rebounds over the last 5 games as well. I think that's what I have written down in my notes. And they're not a team that really scares me from the perimeter. I talked about this in the game against the Indiana Fever. If Kennedy Carter's not making outside jumpers, if Marina Mabry's not knocking out outside jumpers, the Chicago Sky team could really, really struggle. So I kind of expect the Aces to be super locked in here. I want to take the Aces in the first half just to stay away from the full game. The trends say that's not necessarily a really good bet, but I just think the Aces going to start early, and I think it's going to be really consistent. I think that they're going to really, really struggle to slow down A'ja Wilson. She has 2 rookies in this game because Elizabeth Williams remains out. So she got Cardoso and she got Angel Reese. I don't think either one of those are really good matchups for the Chicago Sky. I see a big game for A'ja. She just released a t-shirt yesterday on Nike.com. It sold out super quick. I think she's going to be playing for that. She's going to be playing for her teammates. And I think the Aces come out and they play really, really hard. Do I think that they win by double digits on the road? I mean, potentially. Could it be a backdoor cover? Potentially. Another reason why I'm off the game. But I think I want to find a way to play the Aces. Maybe first half team total over. The offense tends to click early. So maybe that's the way I look. I didn't play the game, but yeah, I like the Aces in this spot. Just don't want to get there because the line has moved 3 points already. From a player prop perspective, really quick, I do want to talk about Angel Reese and I want to talk about A'ja Wilson. So we'll start with Angel Reese. Her points plus rebounds is typically only available on FanDuel. And I think the number's like 25.5. Her points prop sitting at 14.5. Her rebounds sitting, I think, at 10.5 or 11.5. I actually like both unders for Angel Reese today. No. It's not a lot of Angel Reese hate. I think Angel Reese is really, really good for the sport. I think she's great. I love the way she plays. I love the energy that she brings as well. I just think it's a fade spot now. Angel Reese has gotten like, 8 straight double-doubles? This, in my opinion, would be the game that she wouldn't get a double-double. The Aces have been so let's talk about her scoring. So Angel Reese scores most of her points in the restricted area. I already told you guys Las Vegas has been number 1 on the season and over the last 5 games in opponent restricted area makes and attempts. Over the last 5 games, however, Vegas is allowing the fewest rebounds to opponents, and they're also number 1 in limiting opponent offensive rebounds. Angel averages the most offensive rebounds in the WNBA. So if you take away those offensive rebounds, she's probably not going to grab enough defensive boards to go up and over her rebound total. So I like Angel Reese to go under her 11 if you want to play, individually, under her 11.5 rebounds. And then on the opposite side, I like A'ja Wilson to go over her 11.5 rebounds. 2 of her last 3 games on the road, she's had 12 rebounds versus the Dallas Wings. She had 15 versus the Phoenix Mercury and Brittany Griner. And now she gets a front court without Elizabeth Williams, 2 rookies, with Angel Reese and Cardoso. I think it's a welcome to the WNBA moment for Cardoso and Angel Reese today. Chicago gives up the most offensive rebounds in the league as well. So I like A'ja Wilson to go down there and grab the rebounds, Angel Reese to go under. So a couple different ways you could play it. Angel Reese over her 11.5 rebounds. It is plus money on most books. And then A'ja Wilson to go over her 11.5 rebounds is plus money on most books. And then Angel Reese to go under either her rebounds at 11.5 or her points plus rebounds. A lot of people going to be scared to play it because, she's been going over. But those are the ways that I would look at this one from a player prop perspective. Let's see what you guys are saying about it. I know I talked for a long time. What up to my guy, Michael? He says, Grand Rising. Mitchell says, Chris, what do you think about both teams to score over 71 at plus 100 on DraftKings? So what game are we talking about? You probably talking about the last game, which is this game. I think I need better odds than that. If the Mystics team total is 71.5, I know Connecticut gonna get to 72. Well, I would think, I need better odds than that. I can get the Mystics by themselves to score over 71.5 at close to even money. So I would need better odds than that. Is my opinion on that one, T. Mitchell. Dante says, morning, let's cash today. Another Powerball like Sunday. I need it. Helm says he got in early with the Aces -8. Good work there. Dosa says he likes the under here. I kind of lean towards the under as well. I didn't play the total. It's still going up, but I kind of lean towards the under as well. Helms likes A'ja over her points at 26.5. I took the Sky under 79.5, Michael says, team total. Sky coming off their Super Bowl win. Yeah, they are coming off the Super Bowl win, which is why I want to fade them early. Smokey Steam Best says he took the Aces minus the 10.5 as well. He says, I'm fading the Sky off their big comeback win. Plus the Aces have had a long rest between games, and it seemed to turn the corner. I would agree. Like I said, one says he like Aces minus 15 at plus money. So people are thinking that, it's going to be a big win for the Aces. And I couldn't disagree with you guys. Like I said, I kind of feel like I got in late. People willing to lay 15, not me though. Justin says A'ja Wilson over her points. Neither of these teams play a lick of defense. I'm going over, sincerely says. Sky play a little bit of defense. They one of the top 5 defenses in the league. Vaughn says, I noticed DraftKings never have Connecticut Sun games on their platforms. What are you seeing the Connecticut Sun? Where are you seeing the Connecticut Sun game? It's available on all the other sports books. All of the other sports books. It depends on where you're looking. Yeah, just you gotta have more than one sports book. I'm pretty sure you do, but yeah, you gotta have more than one sports book. I see it on BetMGM, FanDuel. I do see it on DraftKings, so I'm not seeing what you're seeing there. Bet Rivers, Caesars, Betfred, ESPN Bet, Unibet, Bet365. Yes, I'm not sure where you're getting at with that one. Angel Reese under 14.5 points. Helms like that as well. I agree with that. Bissy says, not going with Angel Reese 10 and 10 today. Got a plus 2,500 ticket on a double-double record to go 13 plus games with the Sky last game. Odds now at plus 500. Wilson points at nothing here. So sounds like we're all aligned here. We like Angel Reese to go under. We like Angel Wilson to go over, and I would agree with that. Michael says, I also like Cardoso's rebounds under 8.5. I agree with that. Jamie, this could be the look right here. He says, really like the Aces first quarter team total over 23.5 for plus money on DraftKings. My first quarter guy, he be cashing these. Maybe I look to the first quarter. I'm gonna write this down. Let's go. Las Vegas first quarter team total over 23.5. We'll just okay. I like that. And it's a slower show today because I am kind of talking these games. I haven't made a bet. Just letting you guys know how I look at the games. Richard says, I like the Aces first quarter spread at minus 3.5 and the team total to go over. So some nice looks there. Sincerely says Aces cover easily in this game. Fade Angel, I agree with that. Under here, Dosa says. Angel Reese under points and rebounds, JD says. A lot of people liking that. Ball Talk says, Angel Wilson really the LeBron James of the WNBA? Yeah, she is. She is. Asia is really, really good at basketball, and she plays really, really hard every possession. Tori says Aces first half is good money. If the Fever can get 46 in the first half, Aces team total first half is good money. So yeah, this is where I was talking about, right? First half team total over as well. I'm gonna write this one down too because I do agree with this. Aces first half team total over. What is that number? Real quick, let's find that number before we move on. Get through a couple of more of these comments and then get to the last game. So first half team total is probably 46.5. 45.5 minus 120 is the number for the Aces first half team total. 45.5 minus 120 on DraftKings. It's up to 46.5 on Bet365 and on FanDuel. So yeah, 3 different plays you can play it. I like this story. Like this a lot. Porter says, I agree with Reese under her points because she's definitely been under pressure if Wilson is holding the paint down. And Kia Stokes is also really out there to play defense, so I agree with that. What up to my guy? Jamie says, what's up, Chris? Blindly taking Angel Reese boards under. It's unplayable. Good luck today. Agree with that. I'm probably going to put a little sprinkle on Reese to go under her 11.5 rebounds as well. Because I did see it. I want to say I saw it a couple days ago open at 12.5. I could be tripping though, but I want to say I saw it up a little bit higher. Helm says Sky do play with pace. They do play with pace. I give you that. Last 5 games, they are playing at the 3rd fastest pace. No, I'm sorry. The Aces are playing at the 3rd fastest pace last 5 games. The Sky are playing at the 6th fastest pace. They slowed down just a tad bit. They were playing at the 4th fastest pace. They still playing at the 4th fastest pace on the full season, but they slowed down just a tad bit. Jerry says Sky's defense just came back from 12 in 4 minutes versus the Fever. They play some D. I mean, when they need to, I guess you're right. 4 minutes, nice simple game, still went over. Oh man, comments killing me. All right, let's get over to the last game. Robert says, what about Asia Wilson points? I don't really like her points as much, Robert. I feel like the lines are set. You know, could she go out there and score 30? Absolutely. Like, will they need her to? I'm not sure. So I'll stay off of her points in this spot. Nobody can guard Asia Wilson in the WNBA, in my opinion, though. So if she wants to get there, she definitely can. Michael also says selling high on Angel. The Sky may come out relaxed, still feel good about Fever win. So he likes the Aces. Yeah, I like it as well. Like I said, I just got there late. Helms, I knew I wasn't tripping. He said it did open at 12.5. Angel Reese rebounds. So a lot of money coming in on the under if it's already down 11.5. And I like that a lot. All right, let's go over to the last game. We got the Indiana Fever and the Seattle Storm. This line actually opened at 7.5. I want to say it was 2 days ago, and it's up. It went up to 9. It's come back down to 8.5. Total is on the move as well. Open 166.5 is what I'm looking at, up to 169, which is higher than the 167.5 that you guys see on the screen right now. So let's jump into this one. We got a Indiana Fever team that is playing their third straight road game. 3 days of rest in between though, and they have had 5 straight covers. They had the absolute meltdown, which ended in a push for us on the +1 against the Chicago Sky I think that was on Sunday. And then you got a Storm team that's also well rested. 3 days of rest for them. They came back home, got the win for us against the Connecticut Sun, took care of business. Second straight home game for them. They actually, I think it's a 7-game or a 9-game homestand. They're gonna be home for a long time. Are the Seattle Storm. You can see that the seasonal records there. You got an Indiana Fever team that's been playing really good basketball recently. 7-11 straight up, 10-8 against the number. I mentioned them covering 5 straight. They even covered the last game because they closed at +2. On the road, 3-7 straight up, 5-5 against the number. In the Storm, 10-6 straight up, 10-6 against the number. This has been one of the juggernaut teams of the WNBA. They are 5-1 straight up, 4-2 against the number at the crib, where they've been playing them, much better basketball. And you can see the offensive and defensive rating for both teams. Noticeably, what I want to point out is the Fever's offense over the last 5 games being number 2 rated, and the Seattle Storm defense number 3 rated over the last 5 games, and that's with them struggling, in back-to-back games versus the Mercury and the Aces. Those games are included in there. So, one thing you got to really look at in this game, in my opinion, is so hold on, I got to go through the injury report. So Timmy Fong-Bagley, I don't know if people have been paying attention, but she is very, very close to a return. When she initially got hurt, she was only supposed to be out for about 2 weeks. It's been a month since she's been out, and she's really, really close to a return. I think she could potentially come back today. If she does, she'll probably be on a minutes limit. And then Dantes is also not on the injury report anymore. She, for people who don't know, she's just like a stretch 4, stretch 5. I think she's really going to help them defensively. She's active. She's a vet as well. So, this young Indiana Fevers team, get some veteran leadership if Fong-Bagley and Dantes can play and can both return. If they do play, I do expect both of them to be on a minutes limit though. But they need that veteran leadership, because when you have Nalissa Smith and Leah Boston and Caitlin Clark out there, you have 3 players that's been drafted really, really high, number one, and number 2 over the last 3 years, but not a lot of veteran leadership out there, specifically on the defensive end either. The Fever defense still hasn't been great. They've just been able to score the basketball really well. So I wanted to make sure I mentioned that. Seattle has a clean injury report. Everybody will be there for them. So looking at the Fever, I think the first thing that jumps out to me is they've been playing cupcakes. So this will be the first game that they played a team with a winning record since they played against the Connecticut Sun back on June 10th. So it's been 17 days since they played a game against a team with a winning record. Their last 5 games have come against the Atlanta Dream twice, which, I mean, they might get demoted to being out of the WNBA as bad as the Dream have been. The only team that's been worse is the Dallas Wings. But anyway, last 5 games, they've had Atlanta twice. We were on them in, I want to say both of the games. Maybe I know at least one of them. The game in Atlanta, we definitely were on them, and that was an easy one. So Atlanta twice, Chicago twice, and the Washington Mystics. So I can't really give a Fever too much credit because they have not showed up against teams that have a great record. That's where their losses have been. They've played the Seattle Storm once earlier this season. Of course, they did keep that game close. I think they only lost by 2. Of course, they played against the Connecticut Sun. A lot of their losses have come against the Connecticut Sun, I think 3. And they played against the Liberty 3 times. 3 losses came against that team as well. So the losses have come against the top tier team. Their wins have come against the bottom tier teams. So I think it's a look towards Seattle here. The line is, 8.5. I think Seattle can get the job done. I also kind of lean towards the under in this game. I know that the Indiana Fever games have been going over, but I think it's because they've been playing against, some of the worst defenses in the WNBA. I look at how the Indiana Fever have been scoring the basketball. A lot of it has been what I really like. I like the Leah Boston and Caitlin Clark pick and roll. They kind of get whatever it is that they want, because if Leah Boston's doubled, they kind of kick it to the corner. You got Tiffany Mitchell, You got Grace, you got Wallace out there knocking down shots. So the Fever is, they've been doing a really good job. This will be the game, in my opinion, where that won't necessarily work. The Storm's defense is really, really good. I don't think that they're going to have to double Aaliyah Boston. I don't think that they're going to bring that help over. I think Skylar Diggins against Caitlin Clark is going to be a really good matchup as well. And when I was going back looking at it, the first time these two teams played, it was Skylar Diggins who didn't play that well. I want to say she was like 1 for 10 from the floor. She only finished with like 2 or 4 points. I can't remember exactly what it was. And I think she has a much better game. The Indiana Fever really, really struggle to guard on the opposite side. When you start looking at their defense, they struggle to stop players in the paint. We just saw Nalissa Smith did the too small to Angel Reese. And Angel Reese went out there and scored like 10 points after that with like 4 minutes left. So, yeah, I'm kind of looking towards, Ezzy Magmagor, Nneka Ogwumike to be able to get whatever it is that they want in this game against the Indiana Fever front line. Even if Timmy Fong-Bagley plays in this game, which, like I said, I think she's going to be listed as questionable, and Dantas plays, I just think that they can get whatever it is that they want. And I think that they're going to struggle to score the ball in the paint against Ezzy Magmagor, probably the defensive player of the year. So, I do like the Storm in this game. I'll kind of wait, see where the line goes. I think this is a double-digit win. I like Seattle early as well. They've typically been a really good team to start the game off. And I think with the Indiana Fever, last point I'll make on this game, I think with the Indiana Fever playing against such cupcakes over the last 16 days, the defense is going to hit a little different. Indiana has not faced a defense like Seattle in quite a while. So even if Seattle struggles to score the basketball, we've seen them struggle to score the basketball against the Connecticut Sun. I think they had 12 points on Sunday in that game at the end of the first quarter. Their defense still plays really, really good. So I'll stay off the total in this one, even though it is going up 3 points. I think I'll just look towards Seattle in some form of way, whether I play them for a game, because I haven't bet them yet, whether I play them for a game or, I just play a team total over first quarter, first half. I do think it's a Storm spot here, especially with them only winning the first contest by 2 points when these two teams played. Let's see what you guys think about this one. And real quick, I do want to touch on that because I see somebody already talking about the team total over for the Indiana Fever. Let's see. Young Man Travel says, good morning, Chris. Thanks for your insight. Do you think 9-year vet Dantas makes an impact for the Fever? I do. I just don't know how much of an impact she's going to make initially. I think she's going to have to get her footing underneath her just a tad bit. I like fading these players on in their first game back. So could she make a return? Could she help? I think she will. I just don't know how much it's going to be early. Corey says, I'm on the Storm first quarter. Storm came out slow last game. Fever has no defense. Storm should cover the first quarter easy. I agree with that. Helm says Joel Lloyd going to torch these girls tonight. I mean, this could be a big Joel Lloyd game. I couldn't disagree there at all. Jamie likes the Storm minus the 8 on DraftKings. He says Books had Storm at -2 on the road against Indy a few weeks ago, and they won by 15. Fade the Fever. I like this a lot as well. Ball Talk says Storm here. Fever numbers are skewed given the strength of schedule. Yeah, recent. I talked about that. G says don't give him credit at all. Ball Talk says he likes something that I said. Sincerely says I like Fever. The spread is 8 on DraftKings. Okay. Opposite side there. John says he's fading Caitlin Clark here under her 17.5 points. I would probably look towards Caitlin to go under as well. I think they do a pretty good job of getting the ball out of her hands in this game, making her a playmaker. And they got some pretty good defenders over there too. Helm says Fever on the road trip after playing some pretty poor teams at home. Storm finally get to have a homestand after playing 3 out of their last 4 games on the road. Agree with that. Jamie likes that first quarter team total over for the Storm, over 22.5 at -120, and the first quarter minus the 2.5. He says love both of these. I would absolutely agree with those. Dosa says Fever plus the 9, too high to lay on Seattle. Disagree with that, but we'll see. Justin says, appreciate the show. I'm behind because I took a call. Still on the Aces breakdown. Okay. Helm says SDS, Skylar Diggins Smith, going to be all over Caitlin Clark. I think so as well. Helm likes Nneka to go over her 17.5 points. It's either going to be her or Ezzy. I'm not sure which one it's going to be, Helm, but I would agree with this as well. Tori says, I disagree. Storm should score 90 against the Fever. Should get 75. I'm taking the over. I can see that. So let's see. Indiana Fever team total is 80.5 though here. So Tori, if they scored 90 and 75 is 165. The total is 169. That's not going to be enough to get you over. I'm like, hold on, that does make sense. I think with the Fever's defense being so bad and Seattle, team total being at 89, 88.5, if they finish 87, you're gonna be cooked. And I've been in that situation before. Like the books are setting this total, really, really high. Now, can they go out there and score this many points? Absolutely. But the Storm, it's going to be predicated on pace. The Storm have been playing fast. I don't know, man. Just a letdown in a quarter could absolutely kill it over. So don't let me talk you off because I'm not playing the under, but don't feel confident enough to play the under. But I'm not on the over either, and I hope you cash whatever it is that you play. Sean says Indiana team total under here. So that number being at, what did I say it was? 80.5. So think the Fever don't get to 90, don't get to 81. Helm says Seattle just beat the Sun by 10. Not too high to lay with them. And I agree with that one as well. Cecily says he's going to live bet this one. Ball Talk says Sun just lost in Seattle by 11, which makes y'all think the Fever can keep it within 9. Yeah, I'm in agreement with this one as well. Dosa says this easily could balloon over. It could. Barrett says, great work, Chris. Aces and Storm first quarter spreads. Yes. I like both of those, Barrett. Like both of those as well. They've been cupcakes. Whenever you're talking about the Atlanta Dream, the Chicago Sky, defensively has not been great. And to watch the Mystics, that's a cupcake schedule, especially when you got those 5 in a row. They're definitely going to inflate your numbers. Look at the Indiana Fever offense. It's right here. It says they're number 2 over the last 5 games. The offense has been good. I don't think it's the second best offense, though. So, yeah, I agree with that. Fever laying 805 on the road. I don't know. I may look to go under on the Fever team total points. Could be the look there as well. Kobe says Enrique getting 20 today. I don't know how injured she is, Kobe. Like, that Achilles injury, she's playing through it if she is injured. She didn't do anything against Washington, which is worrisome because Washington, is a team that gives up a bunch of points. Now you got, a lot of the cap and a lot of the reason why I'm staying away from that game, I'm just not sure. I talked about this at the beginning of the stream. I'm not sure what you're going to get from the Lynx today, man. I don't think offensively and defensively, they both going to bring it. So the game, either they're going to be drunk because they still going to be celebrating from, winning the Commissioner's Cup. And I think that affects their offense more than their defense. Shots just not being able to fall. And we've seen the Lynx struggle to score the basketball in specific games. We took their team total over against the Sparks and they didn't get there. And that was a home game. So it could be offensively, could be defensively. I'm not sure. Enrique gonna definitely shoot the ball. We know that. She's super inefficient, but she's gonna be out there letting the shots go. So I don't really have a strong opinion on Enrique today. What's up to my guy AOD? Mom is just the best. Says thanks again, Chris, for what you do. I appreciate that. What was your favorite pick of the NBA draft? Easily, by far, the number 17 pick. Easily, by far, the number 17 pick. If you know, you know. Lightbearer says, was good, Chris. Good luck on your best today. Appreciate that. Dosa says, give me the over there. Mitchell says, I don't know if the Fever can get to 80.5 on the road. I like the Fever team total under or first half under. I could agree with that as well. So Chris, you don't think the Fever are covering? I don't think so, Michael. It's a big number though. I'm not interested in laying these super big numbers with any teams, honestly, unless I'm getting points. And somebody mentioned it in the chat, man. The Storm already beat the Connecticut Sun by double digits. Why can't they beat the Indiana Fever by double digits as well? And to that point, I guess the counter argument to that would be the Storm were coming off 2 back-to-back home losses. They lost against the Fever. I'm sorry, they lost against the Aces, and they lost to the Mercury as well. So they kind of had that game circled, wanting to get the bad taste out of their mouth. So yeah, one of the reasons why I don't really like the spread in this one either. When I can make counter arguments to both, I typically just stay off. But I do think it's a Storm spot. In some way, I just don't know if I'm taking them for the full game or not, Michael. Let's see. Caitlin Clark over 12.5 rebounds and assists, Bruce says. TJ says, appreciate your work that you put in, Chris. Always stop by to hit the like button. Appreciate that, Reese. Sports Hub says, you think all the favorites win today? I do think all the favorites win today, yeah. I think the Storm going to win. I think the Aces going to win. I think Connecticut gets back on the right track. And I think Minnesota wins too. I just don't know if all of them going to be by double digits, and that's where all of the lines are priced today. Let's see. Absolutely, Dosa. It's a steal, absolute steal. And I can imagine JJ Redick being super happy that his first draft pick that he's involved in, it's not all his discretion, of course, but his first draft pick is a three-point shooter. He was hyped. He probably woke up smiling this morning, if he even up yet. Yeah, JJ Redick will be super happy with the Lakers draft pick last night. Let's see. No idea if Bronny's next. I thought he was going to get drafted last night. What do I know? Connect is the guy, Helms, right there with you. What up to my guy, Mark? He says, thanks, Chris, in the community. Lots of great cappers. Good luck today. And appreciate that, Mark, as well. So let's get into a quick recap. I've been on here feels like all morning, just getting through these 4 games. Let's go with we talked a couple of these out. That first game, like I said, it's a live betting game. For the members, I'll send out plays that I really, if I'm watching the game for sure, but I'm not gonna play anything before the game starts on Minnesota and Dallas, so I'll bypass that one. As far as the Connecticut and Washington game, I really kind of want to take Washington plus the 10.5. I'll see what the line closes at, but I think they can keep that one close. Maybe even a backdoor cover. And I would only look towards Connecticut and Washington to go over the 153. Yeah, 153. I think the number's a tad bit too low. So that's where I'll go there, just so you guys can see what I'm doing here. Also, let's see, what else did we talk out? We talked out Vegas and Chicago. Vegas team total first quarter, if you guys have access to that. My guy Jamie mentioned this in the chat. First quarter over 23.5. I actually like Las Vegas first half team total a little bit more, because now you got Chelsea Gray back, and she's not really been starting. She's been coming off the bench, which has been helping their second unit. So they just continuing to run it up. So I like the first half over 45.5 as well for their team total. And then in the last game, I got to figure out how I wanted to play the Storm, but I think Seattle first quarter team total over 22.5 is in play. I don't think that the Indiana Fever's defense is going to be able to score the basketball. Seattle should be able to get some points off turnovers as well early. So I like them first quarter, and I would look towards them in the first quarter on the spread as well. They've been a very good first quarter team in the first quarter at home specifically as well. So first quarter spread, let me just see where I can get the best number real quick, and then we'll get ready to get up off here. First quarter spread. Minus 2.5, minus 115. So 2.5 for Seattle in the first quarter. It's available on Caesars is the best number that you can get. I see it at minus 125 on FanDuel. So it is juice for Seattle to come out and start the game off hot early. So yeah, these would be the ways that I would look today. Hopefully the show was helpful for you guys. If it was, you do me a favor, hit the like button for me on your way out. If you enjoyed the show, if it was helpful, subscribe to the channel if you guys are new as well. Resources that I use are all here, of course. Want to shout out OzGem as I always do. You guys can get 25% off your first month using code CBC. The link for that is in the description. Also, check out the Money Baller, one-stop shop for all your WNBA sports betting trends, situations, stats, all of those different things. So definitely encourage you guys to look over there as well. And I'm going to run another show just for people who are still here. I'm doing another show just looking at player props. I'm going to have 2 special guests at least on the show. We're We're going to run that at 11 a.m. So come back at 11 a.m. if you guys can. And we'll jump into some player props as well. I got two really good, solid guys, capping player props. I'll have them on the show at 11. So if you enjoyed the show, like I said, do me a favor, hit the thumbs up, share the show, subscribe to the channel if you guys are new. If you want my official plays when I do make them, the link for that is in the description. Best of luck on all your action today. Bet responsibly, man, and I will catch you guys in the next one. I'm out. Y'all be good.